welcome back to my channel. So today's video, we're headed right now to Corona. Oh no, Riverside? Anyways, so in today's video, I'm headed out to get my eyebrows microbladed. It's called microblade and shade. I think that's the term they use where it looks more natural. So that's what my brows look like. The only thing I have on is like a pomade on the brows just to keep them in place. She said in the message that, you know, you could come in with makeup, but I figured why come with makeup if she's gonna remove it either way, you know? So the only thing I did was just my lashes. I just applied some falsies because
I kind of looked at it a little bit.
I kind of have an idea of what to expect. I know it's like a tattoo, but I don't think I'm really gonna know like what to expect, like how to feel until I'm there. And then I think they do apply a numbing cream, and then the procedure should take about 4 hours, which I'm nervous, imagine. So anyways, I've been wanting to get my brows done for a very long time now, like a year or 2 years. And I had been following this really popular girl on Instagram, but I didn't really like love all of her work. I wasn't convinced. So anyways, I just kind of let that go for a while, and then someone had recommended me to this particular person out here. So I knew as soon as I saw this girl's work, I knew that I wanted her to do my brows because all of her brows look like filled in but not fully like shaded, like, you know what I mean? They look like natural, and that's really what I want because I want to be able to have like nice looking brows even on days that I don't wear makeup, especially because my brows sometimes take a while to do in the morning. So if I could lessen the time that it takes me to get ready in the morning, that'd be great. The cost approximately, I believe it's going to be $550. Oh, there's a lot of stores here. Anyways, I'm very excited. I'll get more into details afterwards, but as far as right now, beforehand, I wasn't able to drink any like caffeine today or a few days prior as well. And then also you're not supposed to take any blood thinners, so any ibuprofen, Advil, stuff like that. Something that I was really kind of nervous about is that they tell you not to use like tretinoin and retinol creams and stuff. And I normally do for my skin. If you guys watch my videos, you guys are familiar that I am always applying acne creams in the morning and the night. This past month I haven't really been applying them, but I have within like the last 2 weeks. I have a bit, not super close to my brows, like up here and then on this area right here. So I told her and she said, you know, I should be fine if it wasn't like close to or like near the brows. So but yeah, I'm a little nervous. 4 hours. Let me just text her and let her know that I'm here. Oh my god, they look so funny.
So it's a bunch of like tiny needles lined up together.
Oh wow.
It's not like an actual like blade.
And then you said that's the shade.
This is for the shading. This is the shading machine.
Okay.
And then that's the manual microblading.
So this part should take how long?
Like about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, the pen marks still stayed. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay guys, so she already did my left brow. She did one pass, and then we're going ahead and getting this one done too, right?
Mm-hmm. The first pass on this one. And this one's numbing, so then I'm gonna do a second pass, and then at the end I'll do the shading.
Okay. And so we're gonna do 2 and 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's 2 passes on each.
Awesome.
Numbing in between.
And this is just Suka, by the way. Can you
Hi.
see us? She's doing my brows today, guys. I will leave her IG handle down below if you guys want to go check her out. But anyways, let's continue.
So the first one that I used is like a topical numbing cream meant for like the outside of your skin. And this one's actually meant to go inside your skin. So it goes directly in all the open cuts. Like you can only use it on broken skin.
Oh, okay. Did you tell me before that when you go in, it's not the outer layer, it's like the...
Yeah, microblading goes through the epidermis layer of skin, and tattooing goes through the dermis layer of skin.
Okay.
So that's why microblading is semi-permanent and not permanent.
You couldn't have said it better, because if I try to repeat it, it's not going to come out the same.
So I'm letting the ink sit on this one for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to apply the numbing gel again for the shading.
Okay.
So that's the difference pretty much between with shading and without. I can do more in here, but her skin's a little sensitive and is turning red, so I don't want to do too much. But like on this one, you can see that the strokes alone don't create that like fullness. It's kind of just like hair strokes. So the shading helps like create more fullness. So it's like a tattoo gun. I don't know if you know how they work. It's like the needles like going out like really fast. It's basically like implanting a bunch of tiny little dots, but the dots appear as like shading.
I think the reason why I felt this one, well, obviously it's because it's already a little tender, so I was feeling it.
Yeah. So this eyebrow is gonna need a lot more shading than the other one, because remember they were so uneven. We had to shave like basically her whole tail down here. So this one has a little bit of hair in there that helps like create fullness, but this one has like no hair. And tomorrow and the next day, basically until they start scabbing, they're gonna keep getting darker and darker. But if this color ends up being too light for you, we can always like go darker next time.
Okay.
And I can do more of my dark brown, because this is a mixture of medium brown and dark brown.
Dark brown.
Gonna apply the sealer ointment. So this will just help seal in all the cuts. And you'll wipe it off after 4 hours, just like water in a cotton pad.
Okay guys, I forgot to properly introduce her. So this is Brows by Jess.
Hi. So for the aftercare, I sent her a form, but basically no sun, no working out, no jacuzzis, no pools, no makeup on them at all. And then I gave her an A&D ointment, which she's gonna start applying on the 3rd day from today, 1 to 2 times a day until all the scabs are gone. So that can range for everybody. That can be 10 days to 2 weeks. And then all the stages are gonna be different for everyone too. So that'll be on the form too. It'll tell you how like they're gonna get dark the first like 3-4 days until they start scabbing, and then the scabs are gonna fall off at different paces, so they're gonna look really patchy, like a lot of empty spaces, and then eventually all those scabs will fall off, and then they'll be really light, and then that color will eventually return in the next few days. Like I said before, the color is gonna be true to color around 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, and then my touch-up is in about
6 to 12 weeks.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay guys, so I'm back home. It's been about an hour that she finished. So just to give you kind of like an overview of how everything went and where I'm at right now. So she had kind of like this ruler thing that helps her mark the points precisely where they have to be according to like the corner, I don't know, like the measurements of your corners and here and all of that stuff. So she did that, and I actually appreciate that she took her time with that, because she kept on going back and forth, removing, adding, and just kind of making sure that both brows matched as much as possible, especially because with my eyebrows, one of them is slightly higher. They don't match, I mean, but it's very normal, you know? So I didn't mind that she took her time with that. I appreciate it actually. She did that for about 40 minutes or so. She did ask me just to take a quick look when she was done mapping the brows, just to make sure that I was happy with the design. And I was a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I even told her like, is this how they're gonna look, like that thick? But it was just like a map out. So when she's done with them, they come out like this. I mean, it's always good to speak your mind, you know, which is why I asked. And then afterwards she applied the numbing cream, and then we just let it sit for like 15 minutes. So that definitely helped with numbing the eyebrows. That definitely really helped, because you could tell the difference when you start feeling like when it starts to wear off, or in certain areas that it might have not gone into, you feel it. So she just went in and started like blading, and the sound of the blades are a little cringy, but I didn't mind. Like afterwards I got used to it. It was just in the beginning I was like, oh my god, it sounded like if you had a key and you were kind of scraping the pavement. That's like the best explanation I could give you. She just did like strokes. At first I didn't feel anything, and then once she started getting closer to like in here, I started feeling it a little bit more. It wasn't like super painful. I mean, pain level from 0 to 10, it was around like a 2 or something. Like it was just like a little discomfort, nothing crazy, right? Oh my god, it's really hard to like describe. And then once she started hitting the outer areas on this side, I did feel it. I could kind of feel like the like that. And then she kept on going back and forth to clean my brows because I was bleeding. I never saw blood, but I could kind of feel like certain moments when blood started to come out. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be like way worse than it actually was. I expected something like crazy. My thoughts were like, oh my god, it's gonna be painful, like this is legit a tattoo. But the numbing cream made it very tolerable. I don't really like remember the order, but it was like she did 2 rounds on each side, like the blading and stuff. And then afterwards, at the very end, she did go in and shade both brows. Based on the measurements, this one was kind of like messed up because I had no hair in the area where she marked. So all my hair was like down here. So she shaved off like the ending of the tail, which you can't even like tell. Hopefully I could keep it up like that though. When she applied the ink on my brows after the bleeding, I felt it. It started to sting, it burned a little, just for like a little bit, and then it faded away. The shading, towards the end when she was doing the shading, I really started to feel it because the numbing cream had worn down, and then at this point my brows were really tender and like sore and stuff. So I did feel it more than I wanted to, but it was very tolerable. You know, it went by pretty quick. I didn't really feel much of like needles. It was just like the motion, the vibration all over my brows. That's what was kind of hurting a little. And then she did ask me like what kind of color I was going for. So I just wanted it to look like my brows, and obviously I would prefer if it matched my hair, you know? So she said that she was gonna do 60% medium brown and then 40% of the dark brown, because the color is eventually going to fade away. So you do want to include a little bit of a darker shade so that when it fades out naturally and to the color of your liking. So I'm so excited to see the end result, because I'm not going to need to do my eyebrows every morning unless I want to do something a little bit more dramatic, like for a party or something, you know? But for an everyday, they're just going to be, you know, ready to go. I mean, I'm okay with this color, honestly, but they are gonna go down, and then afterwards, you know, we'll see what needs to be touched up, and then she'll go ahead and do that. I'm excited. Try not to stress Thomas, because he says I stress him all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna die a very, very young person because Karen stresses me.
But I figured, like, why am I gonna come in with makeup pain? And I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like undergoing a surgery while being awake, you know? No, not really.